Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Thursday, November 6th, 2025 by Gaia Blooming. I'm Mimi and our energy mantra for today is I allow the layers of the shadows and the light to reveal themselves to me. Oh my goodness. As I look at today's astro and I'm like, holy cow, there's a lot going on. Our biggest thing today is Venus shifting out of Libra into the sign of Scorpio. We do have a Venus yod that's like neon finger in the sky pointing at Venus being like, hey, this is an important lesson right now. So we'll dig into that. I want to go through all the other stuff leading up to this Venus shift, and then we can dig into that in the yod. We start with the moon coming off the full moon. How is your full moon over? Did you feel it? I always feel it after the full moon hits. Whew, we come down, it gets a little quiet, it's a little exhausting. So how is your full moon over, especially with Lazy Cat and Taurus? We have some more Lazy Cat before the moon shifts into Gemini today. We have that shift. We also have Uranus preparing to shift. So very shifty energy. This week has been a lot of shifts. Like next week's going to be like, okay, rebalancing. Where is everything? So, Moon in Taurus is finishing up some Lazy Cat connections. It's connecting to Saturn, it's connecting to Neptune, both in Pisces. We actually most of us are waking up into that Moon-Neptune connection. So, Moon-Saturn, that's going to happen while many of us are sleeping. You may have some shouldy feelings around that, but just try to remember that besides always being a human doing, we are human beings, and it's okay to allow yourself to be and not to get wrapped up in I should be doing something. So watch for any of the shoulddiness. We have the control card, which is one of my shouldy cards. It's at the top of the pack, but it's actually in reverse. So don't get shoulded on by yourself. We wake up with Moon in Taurus connecting to Neptune. This is ultimate Lazy Cat. You might have some interesting dreams. This is a good time to ground, Mimi. Speak your words. This energy can be foggy, it can be confusing, it can be muddy, it can be muddled with all kinds of interesting energies. Get clear before you take action in the day, because otherwise, you may find yourself kind of spinning, because these astro energies are a lot. Even just Uranus preparing to shift always brings really interesting, ungrounded energies. So take that time, settle in. Speaking of taking the time to settle in, we also have Mars newly in Sagittarius connecting to Pluto in Aquarius. This is a sextile. This is a happy and easy connection, and yet Pluto can always bring some aggro, power, control issues, and Mars in Sagittarius is not going to stand for it. Mars in Sagittarius is going to fire it off. So if we don't ground in and support ourselves first thing in the morning, we might have things coming at us that we're ready to pop off at and make something much bigger than it needs to be. Pluto reminds us that beyond our own energy, we do tap into the energy of the collective. And the energy in the collective at any given moment pops off, right? So again, take time, collect to direct yourself. I like that. We then have the moon moving into Gemini, which again just feeds into like the where am I, who am I, oh my goodness vibes. Moon moving into Gemini at 7:20 a.m. Pacific time. This is going to heighten and peak some of the mental energies, which again are a little peaky already, being that we have this Mercury retrograde coming in a few days, and Uranus, which is a higher vibration of mental energy, about to shift signs. So the moon in Gemini is like, whoo, let's throw in a ball of mischief to all of this energy. Moon in Gemini then starts making all the connections with the early planets. It'll connect with, actually, Uranus, preparing to shift. It's funny because it moves in at 7:20 and it's already connecting to Uranus at 7:26. So that is how close Uranus is to moving out of the sign of Gemini. Moon in Gemini connecting to Uranus. Again, chaos that can sweep us off our feet, stir up the energies, stir up the mind, stir up the mental. And keep in mind, which is interesting, that we have Venus at 29 Libra for all of this. So there's a part of ourselves that really wants to center, that really does want to harmonize. And it's like being tested. What I see is like somebody with a sword, like with others with swords all around them, and like, who am I taking on first? And so this is kind of how we're feeling, surrounded and trying to center and calm. But that center and calm is very helpful as Venus will move into Scorpio and knowing how to find our center. So harmonizing, remembering the lesson is part of the yod. Remembering the lesson to harmonize in and within yourself first, rather than trying to fix all that out there. You cannot fix the planets. You cannot fix Uranus. You cannot fix the moon in Gemini. You cannot fix this stuff. But you can rebalance, find that zen, find your inner peace in here, and move from that place. So again, that is my encouragement for this morning. The next connection that the moon makes is with Pluto. So first we had Mars, Pluto, Sagittarius, Pluto. This just popped into my head. This can also be one of those know-it-all power trips. One of the cards that we have is the projection card, and people love to project their truth onto anybody. And I think it's great to be open and listen and expand our understanding of things, but it also matters what you believe and not necessarily being taken over. And so as the moon and Pluto connect to that, again, remembering, like, stay grounded in yourself. As you learn, you don't have to morph into somebody else's beliefs. It's an interesting connection with the moon trine Pluto. Again, you may find yourself changed as you meet somebody and connect and learn something else, and that's amazing. It's just about kind of knowing who you are and being able to be centered in yourself. We then have the moon and Mars in an opposition. This day is so ripe for standing in the middle of a circle with a sword and taking out your enemies. It's so ridiculous that that's the vision that I'm seeing, but it's the astro's really interesting. The moon and Mars. Now, moon in Gemini, Mars in Sagittarius, both Gemini and Sagittarius would rather get along with somebody than start a fight. But these energies are pushing buttons, and especially, again, if you do not center yourself, your buttons may be a little easier to push. So be aware of this. The moon brings the emotion. Moon in Gemini can stir up stories in your mind that can then turn into emotions that make you feel the aggro vibes. And there's plenty of opportunities for that in these astro transits. So be aware. If you find yourself ready to melt down, what do you need? How can you recenter? Okay. Venus's last connection before shifting into Scorpio is with Neptune. And so again, we may even not be getting these stories right. There's a lot of confusion energy. The remedy is you. The remedy is your center. Keep that in mind. Venus into Scorpio at 2:39 p.m. Pacific time. I am a Venus and Scorpio native. I love this placement, but I've had people come to me over the years and be like, will I ever find love? I'm a Venus and Scorpio. Will anybody ever love me as deeply as I love them? Yes. No sign is cursed. While this is not a favorable placement for Venus, it can be a very powerful one. And that's important to use. Anything Scorpio brings intensity. So Venus in Scorpio brings some major intensity to relationships, whether it's the relationship you have with yourself, the relationship you have with others, the relationship you have with God, Spirit, Universe. So be aware for the next about 3.5 weeks. We are feeling intense when it comes to relating. Oh, did I get a thumbs up or did I get a thumbs down about that? Is the universe happy with this or not? I saw something moving on there. What came through when it came to Venus in Scorpio is a quote from Danielle Laporte that just hit me when I heard it, and it's something that has stayed with me. And her quote is, "Be impeccable with your desire." Scorpio rules passion. It rules desire. This is where we see what we want and we want to go after it. Now, Venus isn't so much about going after something. Venus is more about the attraction energy and being receptive to what you want. But still, to have that impeccability and that integrity can really support the magnetic energy of Venus and Scorpio. Venus and Scorpio is magnetic. And so be really aware of what you are working on attracting, but also what is in your field drawing attraction energy. We also want to be aware with Venus and Scorpio, Scorpio energy sometimes likes to blow things up. That spirit of transformation, be aware of that in your relationship. Things may feel a little intense, especially as Mercury prepares to go retrograde and we have all these other energies. And again, this is why that inner peace energy and finding that inner peace first really works for Venus and Scorpio. Venus' first connection is actually in conjunct with Uranus, part of the yacht. So Venus is connecting to Neptune and Uranus in this yachtiness. So there's confusion. There's also some past life stuff, and the Uranus energy is triggering it up. But sometimes we like to try to work it out with somebody else. But if you can work this out in yourself, more power to you. Find the balance within. The last connection of the day is the Moon in Gemini opposite Mercury in Sagittarius. So again, these oppositions. We might be able to utilize this to harmonize things, but be aware conversations and connections could get chaotic. And watch for the projections all over the place. Watch for the shoulddiness. Watch for the projections. Work on yourself. Work on your connection with God, Spirit, Universe, so that you can trust this process. We have the sharing card. So if you are able to hold the light, for somebody who is struggling in this energy, see where you can be that light holder. We've also got the ordinariness card. Looking for the good, looking for the beautiful, not forgetting about that energy from that full moon, because here comes Uranus into Taurus, and that will help balance some of this other stuff. This is going a little long, and I don't trust my recording. I really hope that it works. I'm going to post this card, the Angel of Alchemy. I'm going to post it in a little piece of the write-up on my Instagram, Gaia Blooming Instagram. So you can go check that there if you want to see that. Besides that, you can book a reading, email me. You can book a clearing if you need some support. Relational support in and through these energies, reach out. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power. And may your guiding light be strong, and know that you can trust the process. Namaste.